Well, now that the expansion is here, the insert inside the base set is pretty much useless if you sleeved your cards like I did. In fact, I used the sleeves that Legendary or Upper Deck was selling with the Legendary logos on them at Origins, and I highly recommend them. They are phenomenal. But if you take a look, I just had to take the insert, toss it aside, and I customized the inside of my box to fit everything. And as you can see, I got the little labels at the top of my dividers. But speaking of dividers, I did not have enough of them, so make sure that you guys get some more dividers put into the Fantastic Four expansion, because we are definitely going to need them. So now each hero will come with 4 different types of artwork, and overall I'm greatly pleased by what I see. There's a few I think duds. I'm not crazy about the Iceman. I don't think he looks terrible, but at the same time he doesn't look great compared to some of the others. Punisher just looks amazing. Probably the best cards in the set, along with the Ghost Rider. I think those just look fantastic. Jean Grey, a lot of the others. Overall, I'm greatly pleased with the new upgrade to the artwork.
This expansion has added so many possibilities. You can play with a harder mastermind and a harder scheme twist. You can play with a harder mastermind and an easier scheme twist. Or you can play with an easier scheme twist and an easier mastermind. So there's just so many ways to mix it up. One thing that I think is a lot of fun is playing with the 2 different kinds of Wolverine, one from the old set, one from the new set. So it's really just added a lot to have this expansion, and I'm so glad we have it.
This expansion has just been flat out brutal. A lot more difficult than the base set, which that's wonderful. In the base set, my wife and I lost maybe 2 times out of 40 games. I mean, it just wasn't that difficult to win. Now we're losing probably 1 out of every probably 5 games, which that's fantastic, okay? Because what it did is it took a very loose cooperative game and it's turned it into a full-fledged cooperative game to where you must work together to be able to defeat these masterminds and these new schemes. And if you don't, you're going to flat out lose. Before, it felt like, hey, I'm going for points, and the mastermind, yeah, okay, I mean, I'll try to take care of all that other stuff as I go along to get my points. But now it's kind of switched it. You're more worried about trying to take care of the mastermind in this new scheme, and points, well, they'll come to you as you play the game. It's fantastic, and it's really turned it into what I feel like a pure cooperative experience.
The new bystanders have really added a lot to the game. I think that there's a lot more of an incentive to actually rescue a bystander because you know, you might be able to draw a card or KO a wound, and that's very helpful.
I love the new bribe ability. I think it's just fantastic. It's given more reason to have recruit points in your hand other than just use them for recruit. I like how even Kingpin himself, you can use bribe to defeat him. And speaking of the masterminds, I like how all these new ones have ongoing effects that can hurt you. For instance, like Mephisto, if you gain a wound while he's the mastermind, that wound goes on top of your deck. Apocalypse, if the 4 horsemen ever escape, you lose the game. It doesn't matter what the scheme is. These effects are fantastic and they really keep you on your toes.
There are some heroes with a new ability called Versatile where you can use their points for either recruit or attack. And I tell you what, that's really great, especially at the beginning of the game when you never know what other cards you're going to draw. That's like the first card that I go ahead and recruit.
Overall, between the new bystanders, the new masterminds, the new villains, the new heroes, the new schemes, I mean everything in this expansion is just, it's an upgrade and it's fantastic. It's taking, I love Legendary, okay? It is my favorite deck building game. And this expansion has taken what I already love and it's increased it to another level. And that's fantastic because it makes me really wonder, what are we going to expect next out of the new Fantastic Four expansion? I'm excited.
Some of these abilities are very appropriate for the heroes that have them. For example, Nightcrawler has Teleport, and that's very, very useful as well. You can set him aside and add him to your next hand. So, you know, if he's not really doing you much good with his attack all by himself, actually there's some that has recruit points too. But you can put him aside and then next hand you have him plus your 6 cards. Ghost Rider has a very appropriate ability as well. You can actually KO a villain from your victory pile in order to gain +3 attack. So, you know, sometimes when there's some really hard villains out there, you might KO an easier villain that's worth 1 or 2 points, and it really helps you out in the game.
Well, if Legendary was a movie, Legendary the base set would be Star Wars, and this expansion is Empire Strikes Back, because I tell you what, the Masterminds come back with a vengeance, and they are kicking our butts.
overall, this is just a great expansion. We've been playing it like crazy, and I would recommend it to anyone who's already a Legendary fan.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye!